Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, so glad to be here.
I appreciate you giving us your time in this busy time. And we're just excited getting ready for the national conference. So we're having some conference conversations, and we just wish you all the congratulations from the Eastern region. We're so thrilled for you and your choir.
Thank you. Thank you. So glad to be here. We're really excited.
So, for those of us who might not know you, please just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a choral musician.
Sure. So my name is Elizabeth Nunez. I am the creative director of the Young People's Chorus of New York City here in New York, and also the founding artistic director of the So Harmonium's Women's Choir. I got into conducting I started as an undergrad as a vocal performance major, and there was a job with the local children's choir in the after school hours. And so I took that part-time job and quickly discovered how much I enjoyed making music with ensembles. And so from there, I went to adding music ed to my major and continuing to uh, work on the art of conducting and rehearsing and that kind of thing. And as a student conductor in several of my university ensembles, and went to grad school in Oklahoma, where became acquainted with the Young People's Chorus of New York City. And I've been here in New York for nearly 20 years now.
Wow, that's amazing. So tell us a little bit about your choir and maybe what makes you unique with your process and in your.
The Young People's Chorus of New York City serves over 2,000 children throughout New York City, throughout the five boroughs. We have our core performance program that is ages 8 to 18, and we meet on the Upper West Side, right across from Lincoln Center in our studios. And then in addition to that, we have a community program at two locations uptown, one in Washington Heights, another a little further up on the Upper West Side, where we have two community choirs that serve more children throughout the city. And then we're in 20 public schools throughout the city. So we're far reaching and looking to grow and continue to reach even more children throughout the city.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. It's such a gift to be here with these young people every day.
So tell us about Cincinnati. Tell us the rep that you're singing and the overall kind of programmatic experience.
Yes, we're so excited. We're bringing a group that is ages 12 to 16, treble voices. They're going to be performing a set that begins with Meredith Monk's Suite for Dancing Voices. And we had the pleasure of premiering this work with Meredith back in, I think, 2016 or 2017 through the Lincoln Center White Light Festival, where our young people performed with Meredith on stage these fantastic pieces. And so we're excited to bring those back. After that, we're going to do a 15th century motet that is Mignon, Allons voici la rose, which is Behold the Fair Flower, of youth. And it talks about how youth is a fleeting thing, and we should appreciate our beauty at the time. It's kind of interesting for young people to sing that. They say, what, we're only going to be beautiful? No, you're going to be beautiful forever. But this is an older piece. Then we're performing a piece that is based on the Mozart variations of À vous dirai-je maman, the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star tune that Francisco Nunez arranged for choir. And it's always a really fun piece for us to perform. After that, we're going to perform a piece that's by Jim Papoulis called Pantaray, which has these 6-foot tall bamboo sticks that serve as our percussion. It's very intense, very exciting, followed by the really powerful Kurt Carr gospel song For Every Mountain, and ending with a song called Red Light, Green Light, which was also written by Francisco Nunez and incorporates a lot of street chants and things that you might have performed as a child, like hand clapping games like Miss Mary Mac and things like that, but also includes a lot of lyrics that were written by our choristers.
Oh, that's awesome. That's going to be great.
Yeah, it's a great show. I'm really excited about the set.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about your process and how maybe it's different than our collective conference experience.
So my process. Well, I'll step back a little bit and say that I think what I love so much about our organization and what we're able to do is that we're really focused on the whole child. So we have a saying here that you come because you like to sing, but you stay because you make a friend. And so community building is really integral to what we do and who we are. We, in addition to our caring about how the children connect as human beings, we also look at them as individuals and what they need to succeed. And that goes not just for what they need to succeed as musicians and performers and as artists, but also what they need to succeed in life. And so there's quite a large educational component to what we do, not music educational, but actual academic, life skills, social and emotional growth. A lot of programs that we have in place that are designed to really support that growth all the way throughout their time here in YBC. We have 5 days a week this year we've started. I'm very excited about this. We have homework hour. Can you hear me? There's a siren going by. New York City, it's just, we can tune it out after a while. Yeah. So our homework hour began this year and has for 2 hours every afternoon, 5 days a week. We have professional tutors on site to help the choristers with their academic homework, with anything they're studying for, tests coming up, things like that. In addition to some of the other tutoring programs that we've already had in place for many, many years, we've always done SAT and ACT classes. We've done private subject tutoring where needed. We do private vocal lessons for many of our children as well. So we're just kind of adding on to that because we really saw a need, especially post-pandemic coming back. We saw a real need that, some of their study skills and executive functioning skills maybe are not where they were pre-pandemic. So we want to make sure that we get all of the supports in place that we can to help them to thrive and help them succeed. I think that as artists, because they know that we're invested in them in their whole lives, and their families know that we're so invested in their well-being and them being a part of our community, they really give everything that they can to our rehearsal process and to our performance process. And so I think that's what makes it so very special, is that they are truly bringing their whole selves to the work, and to be able to create and shape a piece based on who's in the room and the connectivity that they have with each other and with the pianist and with the conductor and all of those things. It really is just a very special place.
Yeah, that just speaks to the warm environment that you've created.
Yeah, it's a love fest. Our motto here is in the key of love, and it's because we love what we do, we love who we do it with, and we just really enjoy each other's company and what we're able to achieve together.
Yeah. So you touched a little bit about what has changed since returning to rehearsals since the pandemic. And we could talk about this forever, but what have you learned from maybe remote teaching or the restrictions that existed in the pandemic, and how else are you applying those changes?
Well, I talked a little bit about the choristers' social and emotional health and their academic health and all of those things. We did a lot when it comes to going deep in and actually making space for them to talk. We've always had space to talk in our rehearsals about what's going on, but I think during the pandemic that became really imperative. Many parents and children have told us, this was my lifeline during that time and being so isolated. We had an exhibit that was created that was in residence at an art gallery downtown last fall, and then it traveled to California, and now it's getting in San Francisco, and now it's getting ready to go to LA, called Alone Together. And it was an entire art exhibit of the poetry that the choristers had written, as well as a work of film that features music that was commissioned during that time, these canons that were written for us by major composers that really helped us to shape the stories of our choristers on film. And so we created an arc of kind of where we began in COVID, and then kind of the hope of coming out of it, but always finding each other through our singing and through our voices. And that film featured over 600 choristers' voices that were recorded on cell phones. So we really just, I think our ethos in general is just to dive in wherever the need is, right? Like as a parent, you look at your child and you say, all right, what do you need right now to do your best? And you give that to them. And that's our organization's entire mode of operation. Just we're constantly in tune with what they need. So during the pandemic, I think it was no different. We were just very much in tune with what they were going through and how we could help, and how we could continue to keep the community bonds as strong as possible. I think from a more literal standpoint, the thing that I learned the most, we really got good at making movies and making film, right? So we took away that element of being on stage and performing live. So we had to learn about editing and filming, and it kind of went through these phases where at first it was choristers filming themselves at home on cameras and the whole Zoom box square thing, and then it kind of graduated into, okay, we can come to an outdoor space, but we're going to be socially distanced with professional cameras, so I think each iteration went through its own thing, but film has really become a big part of what we do, and a different medium for us to share our art.
Absolutely. And I like how that just kind of is sticking with us. And there are some things that you're talking about that you are holding on to in this kind of new world that we live in.
Yes.
Okay, ready for lightning round?
Lightning round.
What's your favorite piece that you've programmed this year thus far?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have a rule. I don't program anything that I don't love. So it makes it really hard because I love all of the pieces that I've programmed. I'm going to say Meredith Monk, even though we haven't performed it yet this year. It really is one of my favorites. Her music is just truly genius and just really powerful and so complex. So,
okay, what's a piece that you programmed recently or semi-recently that you cannot wait to do again in some capacity?
Red Light, Green Light is always really fun. We performed that last in Denver at the Sing a Mile High Festival, and it's always a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to doing that one again.
This is the most important question. What is your favorite Eastern region state?
Eastern region state? Manhattan? I'm kidding. I guess New York. Does that count?
Yeah.
New York is in the Eastern. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be weird if you said something else, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, say that again.
Unless you're saying Pennsylvania, because I have to root.
Oh, that's where you are? Yeah. I've not spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania. I'm not really good at my northern states because I grew up in the South. So I have to become better acquainted with the Northeast.
Plan a trip to Philadelphia. We will be excited to hang out.
Okay. All right. I'd love it.
Who's a conductor or composer that you would love to work with, to have come work with your choirs who you haven't yet worked with?
Hmm. I really love Grant Gershon's work with the LA Master Chorale. Um, and Eugene Rogers is a lot of fun. So maybe one of them.
Hey, great choices.
Yeah.
What's on your bucket list for choral conducting?
I don't have a bucket list. I don't think that way. What I love so much about being a part of this organization is that we have real freedom to create and to dream. And so I feel like whenever I have an idea or I see something that I want to do, that I make it happen. I have the team, and we all come together behind our creative ideas and really create some pretty magical things. So I would say that probably what's on my bucket list is something I haven't created in my head yet. But there's always an idea back there. So
That
I'm
is
sure there's lots to come.
absolutely. Okay, one more silly one. Are you a do-based minor or a law-based minor?
Oh, law-based, of course. Yeah, and don't even get me started on fixed dough.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing some of your thoughts. And we just cannot wait to see you in Cincinnati. And we wish you all the
Thank
luck.
you. I'm really looking forward to it. And it was so nice to get to meet you, Kendra, and hope to see everyone in person in Cincinnati.